Hi, Paul here from Results Personal Training, and today I'm just going to make a quick video for you on the kettlebell swing and the deadlift, and more as to why you're getting back pain when you're doing the kettlebell swing and why you're getting back pain when you're deadlifting. And it's not the deadlift or the kettlebell swing that's giving you the back pain, it's the way that you're doing it that's causing you back pain. And the kettlebell deadlift as to the kettlebell swing are both fantastic exercises for bulletproofing your back done right. Done wrong, they're going to cause you all sorts of trouble, but done right is probably the best thing that you can do for your back. So four sort of major reasons why you typically get back pain during the deadlift and kettlebell swing. The first one, your hips are too tight. So if your hips are too tight, when you're doing the deadlift or the swing, the goal is to get maximum hip extension. So hip extension, if you imagine extending up through your hips, but if your hips are tight, that won't allow for hip extension. So what you do is you get back extension instead of hip extension. So it kind of looks like you're down in your deadlift position, you're coming up, your hips grab because they're tight, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, you end up in this arch back position, and that jams down on all of those discs in your lower back and causes you back pain of some description. So you want to be making sure you've got enough mobility through your hip joints, okay, so you can get to full extension. The second major reason why you'd get back pain during the swing, the deadlift, would be because you're not utilizing your intra-abdominal pressure well enough. And your intra-abdominal pressure is if you imagine when you're breathing and you're breathing correctly, it creates a layer of air around your spine that supports and stabilizes this core area. So intra-abdominal pressure is created by breathing in through your nose, filling your belly full of air, which supports and traps the spine. And then as you're moving through and you finish that movement, you then breathe out. And it's the timing of the breathing that makes for the intra-abdominal pressure. So the best way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is if you were to breathe in through your nose on the way down, hold your breath nice and tight, and you're looking for what is a bracing type action, and then you're breathing out as you've made it through the movement. So it's a, and that air trapped around your spine supports it, stabilizes it, and prevents the back pain. So if you're breathing wrong, if you're in the wrong pattern of breathing, or it's all over the shop in the pattern of breathing, I know that you're not going to be stabilizing your spine as well as you could be, and therefore that often results in some kind of injury. The third reason why you get back pain during the deadlift is quite simply your glutes are too weak. They're either too weak or they're just not firing. And the glutes, the butt muscles, their role in the deadlift, in the kettlebell swing, is a primary one. They are the primary movers in that movement. And the glutes are the strongest, bar the tongue, I think they're the strongest muscle in your body. So they want to be firing. But unfortunately, where we sit down all day, we often switch our glutes off. They stop firing the way they should be. Then we go and deadlift, and if you imagine, they're supposed to be doing their job to pop up to top, but if they're not working, other stuff has to come along and do their job, and that other stuff usually is your lower back or something else on that chain. So you have this kind of compensation pattern. So your body kind of uses the wrong muscles in order to make that movement. So in that case, you'd have to go back, you have to relearn to activate your glutes, get them firing, and make sure they're the primary movers. And then the fourth reason why you'd get injured during the deadlift or the kettlebell swing is a patterning issue. And a patterning issue is simply your brain is not connecting to your body in the way we want it to in order for you to make that movement. And quite often, the things I would see is either like a rounding back or shifting forwards onto the toes instead of shifting back onto your heels. There's a few different things that could be. So we're looking at making for a better pattern, and the way in which we traditionally go for better patterning is we cue it. So we say, okay, push your hips back, get your chest up nice and high, brace your core, and that's good, that's great. But what we're finding now, or what the industry is finding now, is that cueing is effective, but actually feedback mechanisms and sensory feedback mechanisms are far more effective as a form of you figuring out movement. And what I mean by that is, let's just take if I was to pop this behind my back, head supported, upper back supported, butt on, and I hinge back from my hips, just by using the stick, you'll see that I have a better looking hinge or deadlift pattern. So I'm hinging from the hips. By having a wall behind me just here and saying, hey, I want you to go and push your hips back and actually touch the wall, well, suddenly I've got a marker, I've got a measurement of where my hips need to go to and travel to, and then my weight is on my heels where my weight should be, not on my toes. So little different actions or little things that we can do in terms of changing your environment just slightly can cue you into better movement patterning. So they're the 4 big reasons. Just a quick side note onto this. Functional movement screen is a screening mechanism where we can actually look at all of this stuff. Are you moving as well as you could be moving? So it's a screening measurement, and it's a 1, 2, 3. 1 being, hey, we're not getting good enough movement, we need to do something about it. 2, that's good enough, we can work with that. And 3, hey, that movement's great. And we're looking for 3s. 2s, as I said, good enough. 1s, we need to work on. And there's particular screens that we can look at, and if you hit a 1 in a given screen, we know that, hey, there's something in the way, there's something where you're not ready to deadlift or you're not ready to kettlebell swing. And if that's the case, what do we need to do in order for you to get to a place where you are ready and you can do this? So functional movement screen, come and book in for an appointment. Email us at fitnesscamp@hotmail.com and just book in for an appointment, and we can screen you and see if you're someone that's ready to be doing this movement, and if not, what it is we need to do in order for you to go and get to that movement and nail it perfectly. So that's it for today. Hope that helped. Paul, Results Personal Training. Have a great day.